This is a season where you are holding your head, holding your own, and being called away from anyone that cannot do the same. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So, the last video we talked about 14, 15, 16, and that you are 17, revealed as the star, as the one, healed, healing, doing the best that you can. And I also remember in that video reminding you that the 15s and the 16s would continue, but you have to keep striving for that 17. And then, as we should have anticipated, next is 18. 18 is the moon card. The moon represents everything that is hidden, everything that is veiled. The veil has been disintegrated, my friend. And in that disintegration process, everyone and everything that is untrue must go. I pre-shuffled for this, and this card came out first from the tea leaf, which talks about temporary problems with clouds. And at the bottom of the deck says temptation will test you. So there's currently temporary problems that you're going through that seem to be most inflicted by other people. They're trying to test your healing. They're trying to test your independence. They're trying to test the validity of who you claim to be. You haven't failed yet. There have been many, many, many endings, those seen and those unseen. That video where I put one what the moment after another, after another, after another, it's still happening here. And this video finds you to let you know, please just hang on and do not crash out, because this is what must fall apart before it all comes together. If you're not new here, then you know that I like to write down notes. So we're going to go ahead and start with the channeled messages first. I have a couple of pages there. And I want to start off by saying, yes, we already talked about the number 18. But eights are extremely significant. But what's most significant is 17, which again is you. So today's focus is 17 and 18. Remember that we are not done with 14, 15, 16, as they are continuous, even through the 17 and the 18. Okay, so 17 talks about the highest form, the healed version of you, the one that sees and is striving for more, striving for better. Okay, so keep that in mind. 18, I channeled here, a lot is coming out now. Full moon in Scorpio energy as I am filming this. This video is timeless, but please take into account how full moon in Scorpio energy would influence, would affect us. Please don't mind that the cherries are going to be fading. It's okay. It's just an implied cherry until I find one that can be plugged in or with a more reliable battery source. But a lot is coming out now. Full moon in Scorpio energy. That's highly intense energy, y'all. I refer to Scorpio as the dark side of Mars. Have you ever heard of the saying the dark side of the moon? So Mars is the planet of action. And imagine how Aries is the light side of the action-oriented planet of Mars, while Scorpio is the dark side of the action-oriented planet of Mars, which means that there will be a lot of dark actions quite literally taking place at this time. People will be showing you their true shadow colors. And the thing is that we all have them. But you, represented as 17, proves that you are the living, breathing example of what to do with those shadows. No, you're not perfect, but you're not doing what they're doing. This is a season where you are holding your head, holding your own, and being called away from anyone that cannot do the same. So you may be feeling like, dang, am I being extreme by cutting this off, cutting this off, cutting them off, cutting that off? No, you're not being extreme at all. This is your new life. This is where you will also be coming into moments with yourself to reflect on things that you thought once to be true, especially when it comes to long-term connections and relationships. Maybe this is something that you valued. There's something going to be coming up in this season to reveal to you that maybe longevity isn't your best friend right now. Maybe a new start is the best thing for you. Also, I will link down below to my Patreon. Tarot with Tay is my Patreon. It's linked to my main channel where I do pick a cards. But actually, I shouldn't even say main channel. This is not my main channel, babes. Love you guys. Um, I'm gonna link that Patreon down below so that you can watch the full moon in Scorpio reading if you're interested, because there's some vital information there. But viewer discretion is advised because there is something mentioned there where I share some of my own stories and opinions that might offend some people. That's not the intention. I love everyone, but 18 moon energy. But in this case, it's showing up as reversed, meaning everything is revealed. And this is also highlighting Mercury retrograde type of vibes. Although Mercury is not in retrograde, this is exactly what it feels like. Towers hitting, miscommunication, da 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 da. It's happening. A significant number that you'll see is 953. Again, that's 953, either in that consecutive order, or you'll see nines, fives, threes scattered throughout time. And it's so interesting because when I did this, and I saw 953, something told me, break down that number, add all those numbers together and see what it adds up to. Lo and behold, it adds up to 17. 17 is a significant number that represents you right now. If you see the number 17, pay attention because it has a message for you, big or small. Just pay attention. And again, I mentioned eights as well. 7 and 1 in the 17 break down to 8. 8 talks about cycles. You are in a space where, as I like to refer to it, if you think about the number 8, it's like an infinity symbol, right? But imagine it on its side, that infinity symbol. And every time you get to the vertex point that connects the two circles together, you can make a choice or a decision to shift in a new direction. While every life continuously shifts in the symbol of the infinity, like the karmic cycles, but you can always change the cycle. You can change the direction, you can redirect. That's what's going on right now, redirection. Trust the process. The 9 in the 953 that I told you about, the 9 represents you and your independence. The 5 represents shifts, adjustments, and adaptation, while 3 represents co working, co creating, communicating, cooperating, and community. You're being called to choose wisely. Make the healing choice. Healing choice is related to that 17. Make the healing choice. If people are not ready to face, admit, and conquer their shadows, you're best advised to leave them right where they are because they're only going to drag you down or hold you back. You're now seeing clearly. There's a need to make uncomfortable adjustments to get you to where you're trying to go. What you want to do is not what you need to do for your progression and healing. Let go and float like a lazy river. So, for example, if there's someone that you had hope for keeping around, or someone that gave you false hope as to why they should stick around, the lazy river would tell you to go on about your business, go on, get away from them because they're not solid. If people, places, and things are not showing up solid at this time, if it's not a yes, it's simply a no. If they're not for you, they're simply against you. Use your discernment, but when you know, you know. Once you look up again, you'll see that you are where you dreamt of all along. So again, take that lazy river approach and follow suit. If it's overly complicated with no sense of What's the word I'm looking for right now? Compromise is the word that I'm looking for. That is your answer. If it's not a yes, it's a no. If they're not for you, they're against you. If they're not willing to work things out with you or treat you nice or show you some sense of direction, or if there seems to be hope but no promise, aka it's not a yes, let it go. Expect to wake up from a dream and it'll be your new reality. Let go, vibe, and ride the wave. You are being taken to another place, another space, but only if you allow. Your habits, lifestyle, etc., will naturally repel anything attached to old life identity. You may feel out of your element. Good. To attract new, you must live, breathe, and think new. Continuing on. This was a channel added shortly after. This was channeled last night. This was channeled this morning. Challenging beliefs. You'll recognize new roadblocks based on challenges, beliefs, and ideologies. You'll realize a desire for more like minded individuals. This will cause rifts where you least expect. Trusted religious and spiritual leaders, you'll find yourself drifting away from because you see that they're attempting to keep you small. There will be certain friends that no longer nurture the connection, i.e., referencing to the lack of compromise that I talked about. And people's shadows will be too big to function with. It feels like the Seven of Wands energy, and you can choose to resist that energy and go with the flow to find your new way, or you can shrink yourself down and become what they want you to. Either way, you can succeed on either path, on that infinite path. You can succeed on either one. It's just solely dependent upon who you deem as in control of the narrative of your life experiences. Things that are meant to trigger you are popping up for you to rise into your power by showing you what you will accept and reject. Everything is a choice. That's your reminder. Everything is a choice. The age of light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Something about these tower moments, something about all of these people, places, and things falling away, just although it may be confusing, once you let it go, you realize how right it feels. As the veil is lifting, anything unaligned must go. Your guidance is divinely guided. So again, you may be feeling like, no, no way. No freaking way, Sherry. I think I'm being a bit dramatic. I've cut off 13 people in the last 3 days. Babes, it's simply dead weight. It's always been dead weight, but you have elevated, you have ascended to now see that it's always been dead weight. They've always been like this, but you're just now willing to see it for what it truly is. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? What comes out? I'm sorry, defenselessness, writing past wrongs, uprooting. And, ooh, interesting that this comes out with it. Mirror, who or what is triggering you? Look at that. One of them literally talks about mirroring while the other one is mirroring. It's okay to be triggered. It's okay to not get along with people. But are they willing to compromise? Are you willing to compromise? you are being shown where they are unwavering. And that unwavering energy, even being in your midst, holds you back. People's egos will be extremely huge at this time. It'll be very obvious who's been doing the inner work, who's been praying, who's been talking to God. It's going to be extremely obvious because the ones that haven't will not be able to stand beside you. And if you haven't, you won't be able to stand beside those that have. Gaia nurturing. This is happening so that you can soften. I'm literally seeing something that's like gelatinous, but when it's cold, it's really stiff, but it's warming up and then it melts. Anything that doesn't allow you to be soft, anything that requires your heart to be hardened, must go. Desert Vision Quest. What's a desert? Pretty damn empty, if you ask me. So, don't be surprised when God does a queen. Whoa, okay. I meant to say a clean sweep, but I just said a queen sweep. Interesting. Ebb and flow here. So, reminder to go with that lazy river and just do what it does. Don't try to revive anything or rescue anything because you're going through a radical rebirth. Trust your process. Oh my gosh, trust this new life. Trust where you're being led based on these endings. You are being told to let these things go so that you can be lighter when it's time for you to go. Ten of Wands. That's going to be unfolding. Let's see what the storyline is. The Lovers. Yes. Okay, that's the storyline. I needed another card to see what it was talking about. Relations that are too heavy a burden to bear to move into the next chapter of your life, but you didn't even know. For some of these things, you didn't even know that they had strings. I'm hearing strings with boulders, so almost like anchors, they were holding you back. Trying to keep hope and faith alive in certain past situations that you for so long that you don't even realize that they have strings and boulders and anchors attached to you. Three of Cups. It's meant to come out with something else. What is it? The Tower. Yeah. So there's much destruction coming to once celebrated spaces, places, relationships. I'm also picking up here too. Don't be surprised if some of this destruction leads people back to one another, not in terms of running back to the past, but in terms of we went our separate ways with the things, now we're realigned. So don't be so quick to deny certain people, places, and things of the past if they too have undergone radical rebirths. Two more. Eight of Cups. 303, and I just got a text message as confirmation. Yeah, so Three of Cups to the Eight of Cups, Five Cups represented by the Tower and the differences. These are irrefutable differences, things that we can't overlook. Exactly. Where is it? Two of Swords. I split the deck to the Two of Swords and I talked about things that you can't overlook. You've been overlooking these things for too long. And they had anchors. It had you waiting at the dock of the bay for things that may never actually happen or come. Thank you. The moon just peeked out. I'm going to take these two out. The moon is revealing what has been causing you stagnancy. That ship is coming. That thing that God told you to prepare for, that change is here. It's already being made. One more. Seven of Pentacles. Again, this takes us back to that waiting room concept and all the lessons learned through 14, 15, 16, realizing that you are 17. And now 18 is revealing things to you for you to apply all that tension through 14, 15, and 16 to the present moment in 17 and 18. You know what comes next, collective. Y'all know how to count. 19 is the sun. So we'll see what God brings to me in regards to that. Oh my gosh. The sun is what? Yellow, class. This card, the yellow literally represents optimism, things going in a higher direction, a higher place. And what was the very first card that I just showed you? Clouds, temporary problems. What is waiting to peek out from the cloud? The sun. Don't get swept up in the tide. Just go with the flow and do not hide your light. Also, I, I have to stress here, common sense is your best friend right now. Because again, turning a blind eye to certain people, places, and things has been blocking your nurturance, has been blocking your healing. If it's not a yes, it's simply a no.